Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on all kinds of things related to narcissistic relationships, and we're going to do an Am I the Asshole today. Not so sure this is a narcissistic one, but it's a good one. So, this person says that her sister-in-law always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet or comes up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the asshole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and I said, "This wallet?" She was extremely furious, but she said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So am I the asshole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Okay, so no, you are not. Let's talk a little bit about this because, I mean, listen, I'm not even, I don't think this is so much about narcissism per se. It's definitely about sort of toxic behavior and how we let sort of people show up in our lives, right? Because the sister-in-law is a liar. You know, she's not forgetting. She's choosing not to. And what is always fascinating to me is whether or not people are willing to have uncomfortable conversations. And that goes on both sides. So if the sister-in-law is saying, "You make more money than me, so I expect you to buy the expensive dinners," the person writing this should say, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. You want me to pay for dinner, you're going to choose a far less expensive restaurant, then I can swing it. But in an expensive place, I'm not going to do that." These are not always easy boundaries to set. And unfortunately, when we're dealing with toxic people, we might get roped into the kinds of uncomfortable conversations we don't want to have if we want to keep this relationship going. I've noticed with a lot of these Am I the Assholes, there's a sort of this gotcha moment that some of them have. The person who, a key gets, the people take a key away or something like that. So the person fully gets caught in their lie. What is interesting to me in this particular one, what she didn't say is that someone else got angry, like her husband didn't get mad at her, because I see that a lot in Am I the Assholes. Other people get mad when they sort of entrap the toxic actor in these situations, right? In this particular case, no one got mad at her except the sister-in-law herself got mad. But what the sister-in-law did was something we commonly see in toxic relationships, the shift, and it's part of a gaslighting play of, "You're a bad person for touching my wallet," right? Because how dare you touch my personal object, on and on and on. And yet this person is kind of catching her out in this lie and saying, "Hey, you didn't forget," because this person keeps saying she forgets. It's right on top of her stuff. She's not bringing her wallet, and nor is she offering things like, "Okay, well, why don't you Venmo the money to me right now, or transfer the money to me right now, and then we can get this. Then I can go ahead and pay it because you've transferred the money to me right now." And I think that that could have been another way to do this. And then you would have been forced into the uncomfortable conversation. And then that person would have to come clean and say, "I'm actually taking advantage of you," basically, by going to these expensive places when I know that you will be paying. And so it's this idea of a person using a lie, basically, that I forgot it, and then twisting it into, "You're a bad person for touching my wallet," versus that I'm a very manipulative person who's taking advantage of you by having you take us to this expensive restaurant. So the person who's writing this is not the asshole and may not want to have this uncomfortable conversation, but is now getting pushed into the uncomfortable conversation by the sister-in-law who feels somehow owed this dinner because this woman, who may be working hard to make this larger salary, she expects her to be able to pay for it. It's fascinating because when I read this one, it sort of took me back to this moment where someone had offered to take me out to dinner around the time of my birthday. And we were trying to geographically find a restaurant that was going to work for people who are coming from different parts of the city. And a lot of them had other burdens on them, childcare, things like that. And I said, I'm willing to drive to a place that works for everyone. And I had the farthest to drive. And so I made suggestions, but I even said, I'm not comfortable with suggestion number one because it's expensive. And so suggestion two, suggestion three, which are not very good restaurants, but would have definitely been more affordable. I said, I'm just here to see all of you. So let's maybe choose one of those. The person who created it said, absolutely not. Like, this is not even a problem for me. I want us to go to this restaurant. I've never done your birthday with you. So that was a conversation where there was a self-awareness. This one is just way too expensive. I could not have gone to that place and paid the bill. And so it was that she chose that when being told 2 and 3 are really, really great options. And this was about getting together. So you can lay that out, and sister-in-law could have said, hey, I'd love to go to such and such place for dinner, but I know it's expensive. But bottom line, the wallet forgetting sister-in-law is deeply entitled, clearly feels that this person owes her something because she makes more money. Not okay, not the asshole. And you know what? I think that these folks she might want to start saying, we can go out for fast food, we can get taken, but we are not going to a restaurant. And sometimes that's the limit that has to be set. It's uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Hope that's helpful. And entitlement, not so pretty. Thanks again.